Alright guys, welcome back to Frugal Homestead. Today in the video we're going to be going down south to the Ohio River. Now this is going to be something different from what you would normally think would happen on a homestead, but for those of you that have small gardens or live in town or maybe weren't able to set a garden this year, this video is going to be a useful piece of information. So we are going down to some fields where they commercially grow canning tomatoes. We are going to be buying them by the bucket full, and our normal place we go basically now has a commercial contract, so they do not sell to the public anymore. So this is a new place for us too, but our understanding is it's $6 a bucket, and we're gonna go grab some buckets here. We got loaded up already. We got some totes. Basically you measure it by the bucket, then you dump it off into a tote because we don't have enough buckets. But we're gonna load up because we need to make salsa, we need to make low sugar ketchup, and we need to have tomatoes canned. So that said, can't really produce enough this year on our homestead to cover all that as far as tomatoes go. Plus we like to have them on a daily basis, so just don't have enough plants in this year to cover that kind of run. So this is a quick, easy alternative. We can go down and let other people that commercially grow them for us, buy them up, process them. Now, it's always better if you can grow it on your property, but let's be realistic. We can't all set huge gardens. We all haven't got time to grow that much abundance of one crop. You know, or maybe you live in town, you just don't have the square footage to do it. So this is a good alternative. Come along with us. You can see how the system works. Here, I would guess that most of the US does something like this somewhere around you. Good places to look are on Craigslist, Facebook, or you can even hit your local feed stores and usually somebody will know something. So come along. Alright guys, so we made it here. We're in the rows and we're gonna basically just take our buckets and start picking. Generally when you stop and kind of check in, they usually will tell you that, you know, what rows they're ready to pick. We got 20 rows here they're working on, and I mean they're all looking really good, honestly. I mean that's a prime canning tomato there. So we've come at a real good time. We're gonna get to picking here, and I think we're gonna end up with about 15 or 20 buckets, we're hoping.
Lots of work to get done.
Yep.
You need to get moving.
Let's go. Okay guys, here's a pro tip. Bring totes with you. These actual totes here each hold 3 buckets apiece, but it just makes it easier to offload them into these because we don't have enough buckets. As you can see guys, we're picking some that are a little more yellow. That's because we won't be able to process all we're getting right away. This gives us something we can set on a table on top of a towel in the sun, and they'll slowly ripen. And then we'll be able to use them in waves rather than having them all need done automatically when we get them home. Because these red ones here, they're gonna need to be used pretty fast. So pick a few bucketfuls of these, and then we'll let them cut them up as they get ripe for salads, or you know, do another canning session separately in a couple days. All right, so we just got done picking. Honey, how many buckets did we end up with?
14 buckets.
14 buckets at what, $6 a piece?
Yes.
So what is that, 24 to $84?
Sounds good. Yes.
I don't think
84, I think.
so. Like, it's like 84 bucks, but the vehicle's full. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's full.
We can't fit any more in. So I just wanted to say, whenever you go to these U-pick places, they're picking the number ones first, and sometimes they throw some in the center that just don't meet that standard. But don't pass those up, because on the first few days of picking, you can find beauties like this that probably just wasn't ripe the day that it fell off the vine, but it's ripened in the center of the aisle. It's gonna be an awesome tomato.
It's got a little tiny line on the top, is probably why they didn't take it.
But look at that.
That's a monster, and there's a bunch of them in there like that. And you can get you some green tomatoes or whatever. Like I said, don't be afraid to pick a little bit green and have some that are, you know, a second layer ready to ripen up in the window. And also, these plants, the way they tie them off, look inside the middles, because they'll be hidden inside there, you know, the red ones that nobody else has seen.
There are gold mines in there.
Yeah, so, because we went down a row here, it was the first row, and nobody really picks the first row, and it was just loaded.
We got like 3 or 4 buckets of perfect tomatoes.
So let's get up here and get these paid for, honey.
Okay. We got 14 buckets, sir. I believe that's $84.
Okay, let me get your dollar.
Go ahead, keep it.
Okay.
It's worth it to us. Have a good day.
All right, guys, so we got it all done, paid for. That was really a really cheap price when you think about it. I mean, the entire vehicle back here is full of tomatoes. Now, we do have to drive over an hour to get down here to the river to get these.
We just make it a day trip, though.
Yeah, we get up and pretty decently in the morning and just kind of get everything together, have some coffee, and ride down here. In Missy's new vehicle, it doesn't cost much in gas. If we'd have done it in my truck like we used to do, it'd have probably cost us about $10 or $15 round trip. So, I mean, you got to look at the financial cost of it, but it's also an outing for us, and it gets us all to our tomatoes for these big years when we really need to, you know, can a lot. You know, we are pretty much out of everything this year, so we'll can big this year and still have some left over for next year. So, you know, I hope you appreciated the video, coming along with us. We appreciate you guys, and you know, look for these U-pick spots. There's U-pick strawberries, there's U-pick blueberries, there's U-pick corn, there's U-pick tomatoes, blackberries, raspberries. I mean, just about anything you can think of, there's U-picks around.
And it's awesome for like teaching kids where their vegetables come from, and you know, letting them have that experience, even if you don't go grow a garden at home.
Yeah, or if you don't have enough room to grow a big garden, this is an easy way to be able to be, you know, going out and getting your food at a more frugal price like we do. I think currently in our supermarkets, it's what, $1 for 3 medium-sized tomatoes?
Oh, it's more than that right now.
But we end up buying a whole bucket, 5-gallon bucket for $6 of canning tomatoes. So, you know, really big savings. It helps out the farmer buying direct. You know, he makes a bigger profit margin, and, you know, it's better than letting them just go bad in the fields. So we hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell, and we will
See you in the next one.